Hi class, in this video we're going to talk briefly about causal arguments. In the week 12 overview there is a PDF of our textbook where you can access chapter 12, so I won't go into it too extensively, but I do want to kind of walk us through it. So first, as a reminder, we're still sticking with our Just Mercy theme, and so remember this essay should align with your previous essay, your categorical, so it should be along those same lines, because at the same time as you're writing and planning to write your causal argument, you're also building your annotated bibliography, and so you want to make sure that you have sources that are all similar, so you're not needing to do additional research for this paper. This way you only have to do the research that's required. You're not starting over, so to speak. And so a quick overview of causal arguments. Causal arguments try to show how one event brings about another. And so if you remember, in the categorical argument, we established a category for defining a term or a phenomena or idea. In this essay, you're going to show some kind of causal relationship related to that same topic. In our textbook, I'm going to just expand this. I'm not even sure I'm going to use my PowerPoint. In our textbook, we see different kinds of causal arguments. And so this is what you'll want to think about as you are preparing to write. All right, so we have let's just do this because I want to make sure you're still there. Okay. We have speculations about possible causes. Okay. And so we see this example about Columbine high school shootings. There's question as to what caused this school shooting. And so as a way to draw a conclusion, these are speculated probable causes: violent movies and violent TV, American fascination with guns, lack of discipline, inadequate school counseling, almost like a brainstorm. Now, if you choose to go with this type of causal argument, of course, you wouldn't write about all these things, but you would want to narrow it down to the top 2, 3, or 4 that you think make the strongest case. The second is arguments for an unexpected or surprising cause. Let's see if we have. So and then the third is predictions of consequences. And so here is an example of arguments for an unexpected or surprising cause. And the way that it's organized here is by a causal chain. Now, you can choose actually any of these 3 kinds of causal arguments, and you can show how very dissimilar things combined led to a particular event, or you can do the opposite. You can show how the Columbine high school shooting then led to particular events or ideas which are unrelated, or you can choose to organize by a causal chain. Okay, so many youngsters are left alone for long periods of time because both parents are working. As a result, they play violent video games obsessively. which then leads to feelings of resentment and powerlessness, which then causes a natural aversion to killing, which leads to results, realistic touches in modern video games, blur the boundary between fantasy and reality, and so on and so on and so forth. Okay, but that's a causal chain, and so you can choose to formulate your essay in that way too. And then prediction of consequences. So prediction of consequences is just like this one, speculation about possible causes. It's just flipped. And so if we took Columbine high school shootings and we moved this up here, and then we identified things that were caused by it, that would be an example of predictions of consequences. So let's look here. Breaching of several dams on Snake River above Lewiston, Idaho, cause what? Increased salmon runs, loss of hydropower generated by the dams, loss of several thousand jobs associated with this operation, so on and so forth. Okay? We are not going to do a Pullman for this essay. However, you are more than welcome to do one if you like to. And then there are two methods for arguing that one event causes another. Okay? A one-time phenomenon, a recurring phenomenon, or a puzzling trend. And that is three things, not two things. All right, and so a one-time phenomenon. Example, 2007 collapse of a freeway bridge in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Firing of a popular teacher at your university. And so as you're thinking about your topic related to just mercy, I would ask myself, is this a recurring phenomenon? Is it a puzzling trend? Is it a one-time phenomenon? And more than likely, it will not be a one-time phenomenon unless you are going to focus on a particular person. Then possibly it could be. So recurring trends are phenomenons, eating disorders, road rage. Puzzling trend, rising popularity of extreme sports, declining audience for TV news. And so, a puzzling trend might be the persistence of innocent people being put on death row. Maybe, and kind of thinking about the cause and effect relationship, a cause and effect relationship within that, and what's puzzling about that. Okay, and so as I mentioned really briefly, you can describe a causal chain. And so you want to think about how are you going to explain your causal relationship. So there's a causal chain. This leads to this, leads to this, leads to this. Okay. You can infer causal links using inductive reasoning. Okay. And then here are three ways that you can think inductively. And for the sake of time, I'm not going to go to, you can just go in and read it because I don't want our video to exceed 10 minutes. These are some fallacies you want to be aware of as you're thinking about your causal relationship. And so even though, yes, this is your argument and, you are making a case for a particular causal relationship, you do want to avoid fallacies. Okay, and so even though it may seem as though it's a logical chain of events, for example, can you prove it with evidence? Are you making a hasty generalization about something? Just kind of keep these things in mind. And then here's some others. All right. Last but not least, There are a couple of different organizational plans to kind of help you out. Plan 1, Plan 2, and Plan 3. And I will leave it up to you to read through those and see which you prefer. Make sure that you go in and complete your week 12 discussion by Tuesday at 11:59. Essentially, it asks you to look at chapter 12 and think about different components that we just spoke about for causal argument, and share with the class what you are thinking about writing and why. Also, remember, you want to be thinking about your interview, if you're going to conduct an interview or a survey. Hope that was helpful. Let me know if you have questions. Talk with you later. Bye.